Everywhere I go, they praise him, the white man. Every time you ask a question, they're unable to answer the question without insulting you. It's kind of funny. You ask a person a question and then they call you lazy. You ask a person a question and they call you names. You ask a person a question. Now, here's the thing. Once again, this is my thing. I love our African people, but I think what happens is people are telling me if you really love Africa, don't mention anything negative, only mention the positive stuff. This is what I'm being told. They said if you really love Africa, don't mention nothing negative, only mention the positive stuff. Well, how do we get anything cheap? Because I'm going to tell you about Americans. We have negative things. And we talk about our negative things because that's the only way it's going to improve. But if you're telling me that as an American, I should only talk about the positive stuff and just omit the negative stuff, then who does that help? Who does it help when we do that? Who is that assisting? That assists one person. That helps the white man. That helps the white man. If you are unable to hold a conversation and everything comes down to name calling. Name calling. What I was speaking with a person. They said they pointed out to me that one African guy created a university. I said, well, really, he didn't create a university. He founded a university. So I'll give you that. He founded it. Therefore, you could say he created it. But the money to build the building came from some white people in Seattle. Let me say that again. So I was speaking to an African in the chat room, and the African guy told me, he said, first he called me, he gave me all these insults. Okay. And then, I was like, dude, name me something that was created. He said, you don't do no research. There's buildings that have been built, so on and so forth. I said, yeah, but that was built with white money. That wasn't built with Nigerian or Ghana money. It was built with white people money. So Umar Johnson founded his boys' school. Now listen to this. Umar Johnson founded his boys' school, but there is no actual school yet. That's the same thing that happened with the African guy that this African person is telling me about. The African guy started the university on paper, but the money came from Seattle. And now he has two of them, one in Africa, one in Seattle. But the African people didn't bankroll that university building. So did he really create it? See, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's a trip, man. It's a trip. If that's the standard of creating, if that's the standard of creating, then it's a very low standard. That means that every time one of us Americans created some trade school, then we created a university. Because the university they speak about caters to what that guy does, which is engineering, mathematics, things like that. But it isn't a university, it's a trade school. You know what? Let me not even call it a trade school. All I say is this: you cannot go to that guy's university and get a doctor's degree. You can't go to that guy's university and get a physicist diploma. You can't go to that guy's university, and you can only go to the certain things that he teaches, which is more the engineering, uh, math, science, things of that nature. But I don't even know how people are classifying it as a university when you can't go there for multiple a range of things. You can only go there for a limited thing. But I always want to speak with Africans. That's why I'm putting myself in a position, because we got to have some intellectual conversations. It's very confusing what our African people say sometimes, especially when they're name calling, especially when they're, you know, being disrespectful. And you're like, wow, man, this is crazy. Can't answer a question, so you're just going to insult me and call me names. You know, hey, the white man, the white man, the white man. Sometimes, it comes across, and we're waiting for people to come in, but sometimes it comes across like, you know, many of our African guys, and the only reason I'm having this conversation is not to insult them. I just think we need to really put this out to the forefront, because we as Americans, I'm not going to let you Americans off the hook. We as Americans have this problem too. We as Americans have this problem too. And the problem is we are not being genuine in how we are addressing the world. Okay. I'm gonna put the link in the chat room for a while. That way you guys can jump in, and then I'm gonna remove the link because I don't want any and everybody in. But I want to have an intellectual conversation with Africans at this point, man, because when I asked the question, what have Africans created? Nobody could tell me anything. One guy told me they created a process. And I said, well, a process is not a product. So yeah, I will concede Africans have created a process. They created the internet. But these are things they did not hold on to. These are things that they quote unquote created while they was working for a company, and the company took the patent. Because if you're working a contract for a company, or if you're an employee of the company, any and all of your creations are not yours. I don't know why that's hard to understand. Sir, let me ask you the question, sir. Well, you too, V-Dub, if you create dual compressors, okay, are you not just improving on the compressors that were already in existence? So therefore, mathematically, how did you create dual compressors? All you're doing is improving on what. And let's say that you did create dual compressors. Do you have the patent for it? See, that's the thing that was real weird in talking to more and more Africans, because it's like they don't really have the ability to hold this conversation without name calling, insulting you. Your name VW. What VW? What type of name is that, sir? All I did was ask you, do any African people own an actual African airline? Have you been to Africa? Like, come on, man. I'm just asking, is there actual airline? Mr. Colin Powell, please help me, sir.
Well,
you should have been my president.
What is the topic I'm rolling into today?
Well, we've been asking. I've redesigned this channel. We're talking with Africans, man. African people. I don't know if you saw the video I did in reply to Ken Ganda. The white lady that lives in South Africa was called all type of names, and all she said was, "If you don't want to take the vaccine that we white people are providing you, create your own." African people calling her all type of names. I don't think she got a man. Look at her face. I'm like this and in that I realize why black people treat black people the way that we do. It's an African thing. It's an African thing.
I think we kind of came across that same road around the same time, because right now it's just hard to tell our own people here that there's absolutely nothing wrong with you as an individual to try to maximize your potential. Oh, shut the fuck up. Black folks can't have nothing, can't do nothing.
And see, that's the point. It's the shut the fuck up thing. Or they make this long 3-minute speech and never actually answer your question. Hold on. Wait a minute. I ain't finished yet. Huh? But you ain't even on the topic.
I made this comment to my dad the other day. If Donald Trump was black, this farce would have been over with, because nobody black would listen. They would have peeped that. They would have peeped that hustle a long time ago.
Long time ago. Welcome, City of Truth. How are you, sir? So the topic for today. Have you ever experienced City of Truth where you're talking to an African, not an American, but an African, and they start deflecting from what you actually saying and start talking about something totally different, or they insult you, like call you lazy or say you need to read? Or have you ever experienced that? Maybe you have.
Now, me personally, I can't speak for your generation, so you may have experienced something different. But I can't say I've had those experiences necessarily with Africans in that sense. Now, the negative experiences that I have had with Africans have been they haven't been direct like the ones that you say that you had. They've been more passive aggressive. Like I've been in school where there'll be an African kid and he won't say nothing to you. You know, he'll only say he'll only hang out with the white kids, or there'll be an African girl, or she won't hang out with Black American girls. She'll only hang out with white girls, or she'll act like Black people don't exist, or she don't see Black Americans, that kind of thing. That's the kind of thing I've experienced personally with Africans. It hasn't been so much that had any of them call me like lazy necessarily. And I don't even think that the ones now, like the millennial Africans, even still do that. I think with the millennial Africans, when they want to get negative with ADOS, they're much more likely to do so passive aggressively by loving up on white people, while in your presence, or letting you know that, when they're in the room, that they're identifying with the white people, that they, they're going to sit next to the white people in the airport, not going to say nothing to you, or they're just going to be on their phone and they're going to ignore you. That has been my experience in this day and age that we live in now. But that's just my experience. I can only speak from my own experience, and that's what I got to say on that. Hello?
Yeah, I heard you. You know what? So here's the thing. I love Africans. Africans are cool. I've been really getting into the Congolese ladies. I really like the Congolese ladies. Some of the other darker skinned ladies, because I think I took City of Truth's advice, Future's advice, Kenneth's advice. About 7 people rolled up in one. I took y'all advice and I started looking overseas.
Yes.
And I started looking at it from that point of view. Bo is here. Let me push this conversation. And remember, gentlemen, try to keep these answers down to 2 minutes so that everybody else can speak. Kind of time yourself. So here's the thing. It's not that I dislike Africans. Let me be clear. I just don't like these deflective answers. So let me start off with you, Bo. Name one product in all of these eons that Africa has existed that African people have created and to this day still own.
In fairness, right, the Africans, right? I watched that video and I commented on it. And the African brother responded because I said, what she said was the truth. I say it may sound hurtful, but what she said. And the African brother, I don't know if it's true or not, he commented that woman is actually a Nigerian brother that pretty much trolls on Twitter to kind of like awaken Africans. That was, and if you read through the comment sections of that video, that was like a common consensus that an actual African made that comment, and it wasn't actually a white woman. So it's kind of like you got a section of Africans that's really like awakening to the fact, like, man, we ain't doing nothing, and we need to kind of like get it together. Because a lot of the things because some of the things he was speaking to about how the preachers and we do all these antidotes and we'll go to the voodoo doctor, the antidotes, and we just make babies. He was like, that was a way, indirect way of Africans like putting it out there to, get the conversation started.
Absolutely. And shout out to you because you mentioned Ethiopia Airlines. I forgot about Ethiopia Airlines. I don't know. I think Tawede owns Ethiopia Airlines. I know he's CEO.
Did you know that African Americans actually founded Ethiopian Airlines?
I'm sorry. Say that again. City of Truth. You sound very far away. You sound very far away.
You have a point that you said earlier about the airline. Did you know that African Americans actually founded Ethiopian Airlines?
Oh my God.
Yeah, did you know that? Yeah, and hold on. I think Bo was trying to talk. He might be muted, but his audio's not coming in. But I keep hearing his. You gotta mute him and tell him to fix his audio.
Yeah, and you got to get closer to the mic. You got to get closer to the mic because you sound very far away.
Is my audio all right? You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear. I think it's difficult.
Yeah, hold on, Mr. Research. Because remember, Mr. Research, when you said that the Africans didn't make their own airline. You remember when you said that?
I had not seen it. But
no, yeah, and I thought about that. I thought about that statement when you made it. Then I went back and did some research, and I remembered there were black men that were Tuskegee Airmen in World War II. Okay, America didn't want to let them be airline pilots after the war because of discrimination. Those brothers went over to Ethiopia. They founded Ethiopian Airlines, a large airline in Africa. So who knew?
Wow. What do you say about that, Bo, before we go to Future?
Well, I commented that, like you say, I say ADOS helped them. I won't say that the Tuskegee Airmen founded it, but I believe it was Haile Selassie when he commissioned the making of the airlines. He pretty much sought out the Tuskegee Airmen in like a consultation type role, as like consultants, and they helped in the process.
You know what?
I won't try to take all the credit for it, but
let's go ahead and meet that halfway. Let's put that down in the category of yes, those Africans did create it. Because if you bankrolled it, if you use state dollars or African successful dollars, then we'll go ahead and put that in the category of yes, they did create it. So that's one thing they created. Let's go to Future Society of Gentlemen. What do you think about everything said, sir?
Everything said so far is pretty factual, but we have to put things in context, because what we're really saying is Africans haven't invented anything that's of value in capitalism.
Okay.
Understand that we are Americans, we're westernized, so therefore that is the philosophy we grew up in, and that's how we're looking at things from a material point of view. That's how that white woman, if that was her question, is looking at things from a material point of view. Africans, in a sense, don't have to invent anything. They own all the natural resources. What is built without an African resource attached to it? The problem is they have not adapted to you. We had this conversation about how deers used to just run through woods. It was nothing but animals and trees. And now time has passed and the road is now passed through those woods. And now the deer don't know what to do. They don't know whether to cross the street or stay on the same side of the street.
Right. We did have that conversation long ago.
Right.
But here's my only point, City of Truth. Let's go to City of Truth. Here's my only point is that just because I'm standing in California and they're producing a lot of marijuana out here, don't mean that California's invented marijuana. City of Truth.
Okay, wait. Repeat that again.
I said, I hear everything all of you guys are saying, but my point is, just because I'm still standing in California and they currently producing a lot of marijuana out of the ground, don't mean that I created marijuana.
No, you're right in the sense that, see, Africans have a lot of natural resources under their feet.
That's why I use the marijuana example.
They have a lot of natural resources under their feet, but they have not been able to translate those natural resources into global power. Okay, they don't have. Nigeria has almost 300 million people, but then their army they only got 50,000 soldiers in their army. How are you a country of 300 million, 300 million people?
Hold on for a minute. Hold on for a minute. Bo, what do you think about that? They got 3 million people, but only 50,000 people in the army.
300 million people, 50,000 soldiers.
300 million. Bo, what do you think of that?
I don't really know the stats on that, but if we're gonna stick to
it's true for a second. Let's just assume it's true for a second.
I really don't have an opinion on their army, but just sticking to the natural resources, using Nigeria as an example, actually having the resources doesn't mean much, and Nigeria is a good example of that because they have some of the largest oil reserves, but they don't refine their oil. European, the Shell company and all that, they come in and they refine the oil and then they sell it back to Nigerians. So that's a fact. That's a fact. So a large amount.
Wait a minute. How long has that been going on, sir?
If you keep up with the current events, Dangote is trying to build the first refinery where they can refine their own.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when you got several million Nigerians outside of America claiming how successful they are, I would imagine You just all chip in 10,000 each, and oh my goodness. Okay, wow. Future Society of Gentlemen. I just got educated, man. What are your thoughts, sir?
Because they're not educated on the value of what is under their very own feet. That's why they make statements like Nigerian Americans are the most successful immigrants. That's why they make statements like that. But they don't have any, huh?
But they're constantly bragging about the natural resources, though.
It seems like they're more bragging about their academic accomplishments than the natural resources. The thing is, the oil has no value to them. The oil has value to whom? Europeans. The mistake Africa has made is giving it away as opposed to putting a fence around their resources and playing and seeing what game that they're playing. In other words, the Chinese played the game with the white man for 100 years until they learned the game. And now look at China. They even got Hong Kong back, which is the center of all international trade. China knew the value of their natural resources. They just played the long game.
Mr. Jean Doux said, I once had an African spit on me for saying Black Americans and Africans are all brothers. That's unfortunate. Everybody, even the African people got bad stories about what Americans have done to them. So, it's an even trade on that. Mr. Raptor says they bought the rights to operate the airport. Who is they, Raptor? They being the Africans or they being the whites? Selassie, I brought them to do that. Yeah. Okay, so he brought them over to do it. So yeah, let's put that in the category of they created that. Let's go to the next topic real quick. City of Truth, you said you've never experienced it, but why do Africans have this? If you ask them something, they'll hit you with this "you lazy" talk. And you know what? If you've ever been to another state, City of Truth, you're a truck driver, so I'm sure you have. It's easy. It's easy to go to another state, start brand new, and just be on your hustle. You know what I'm saying? It's because you brand new. It's either sink or swim. You know what I'm saying? But when you run into that first problem, City of Truth, that your black skin causes you say these magic words, because I just want to understand, why do Africans say this stuff? I don't understand why I'm human just like you. Why do Africans always say I'm human just like you, when in actuality whites don't see it that way?
It comes down to how they're socialized, and when Africans leave Africa, they're leaving the things that hold them back in Africa. Okay, the things that the limitations that they have in Africa, and they're coming to a new place in America, and they look at it like, okay, America is this this land.
I can make money.
Yeah, it's a place of opportunity to make money and that kind of thing. So a lot of times they look at the monetary, financial aspect of America. They don't consider the social aspect. They're not aware of many times the social things are just not as pronounced to them, at least initially. Now, a lot of them do end up getting a wake-up call, and a lot of them do end up waking up. Because I've met a lot of Africans who are conscious about racial issues and social issues and stuff like that, even though many of them either are not, or many of them don't care to be so. And then a lot of them, they just come over here, and to be honest, and I'm not saying this is all of them, but a lot of them, they just want to come up here and be up under white folks. Okay, they want to live in the white folks' neighborhood. They want to marry the white folks. They want their kids to marry the white folks, and they want nothing to do with Black Americans.
No, that's okay. That's their right. But my question was none of that. My question was, why say, look, when they get treated a different type of way
Yeah.
by non-black people,
Yeah.
why do they always say, I don't understand?
Because they
I'm
don't.
human too.
They don't. It's like I said, they don't come over here. When they come over here, they don't think they're gonna have to bear the social burden of being black that Black Americans have to bear. They think that America is gonna distinguish them as being foreigners.
Oh, okay. For being hard workers.
Yeah,
for
they
being
think
hard workers
on that and not be judged.
Right.
Hold on. Let's move to Bo. Bo, what are your thoughts?
I never had an African tell me like straight up to my face about the whole lazy thing. I've seen it on the internet. I've seen, but I know that it exists, that they probably said, but I guess that's from them looking from the outside looking in. Like you say, you got somebody coming from another country, they're seeing opportunities that we're not taking advantage of. So that's the way they express it. And some regards, there's a truth to that. We have to be honest as black men, you know, there's some truth to that. That there are opportunities that we're leaving on the table that they come and take advantage of.
And you know what? My chick. I will admit to you, Bo.
When people take advantage of those opportunities, they tend not to sympathize with you anymore.
Right. I understand. But you know what's so funny? A lot of those opportunities are not truly opportunities. Let me explain. So when a lot of Africans came here to use the Negro College Fund, that was really not yours to use, but you were allowed to use it. White people can't come and use the Negro College Fund. So that's an opportunity, but you're getting it under shady means. When white people hire you as a affirmative action situation, you should tell them, wait, I don't believe in that black stuff. I'm human. So if you're hiring me for this affirmative action, you should give it to one of the affirmative action people. That's a mistake I think our grandfathers made, Bo, by not making it really streamlined for American people. Because now what I see along that line, Bo, of what you just said, you got a lot of people who come and they partake of the opportunities, but it's at the behest or at the detriment of using civil rights laws to get what they need to get, not by their own merit. What do you say about that, Bo?
It's definitely some truth to that as far as the opportunities. Because if you look at when certain schools was integrated, I believe it was not Emory-Riddle, but I think it was Emory University. I'm not sure which one it was. I have to look back into it though. But when they first integrated it, they used the first set of black students they brought in were African students. And they didn't bring in ADOS students until later on. So after they passed the Civil Rights Act and then they followed it up with the Immigration Act of '65, they used the first wave of black students to integrate in as the ones that came under the Immigration Act of '65, those black students which happened to be African. And those students were more so the children of dignitaries.
Right. And they only did that because they wanted the oil. Because I bumped into a few Nigerians at Chevron back in '95. And they were telling me something the same thing. First time I ever even saw Africans. Then they were all in their African gear too. Like, you know, dashikis, they was full on. Future Society gentlemen, thank you for being patient. What are your thoughts, sir?
Let's not also forget that the first black president was who? Barack Hussein Obama, son of a Kenyan. Also a very important African country under the British protectorate. Just as important as Kenya. Masquerading as a who? An African American.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Let's move it on a little bit. Somebody said, Mr. Raptor said, Future Society of Gentlemen, that they have steel, carbon steel in Africa. But if you're just producing it for whites, what?
They have raw diamonds in Africa.
But they're not allowed to take the raw diamonds themselves.
In fact, neither one of us would be on any of these devices right now if it wasn't for the cheap silicon in Africa. Period.
True.
If they sold it at face value, they would be. If Africa right now sold just the silicon itself at face value, right now, if the African Union and the African Central Bank stop flying to Europe to get education and, and stay within themselves, they can shut down everything tomorrow just based on the silicon prices.
Here's my question though, Future. It's like, yeah, I hear all that, but my question is, if you're just manufacturing, you're truly reproducing a process or system somebody else started. Am I correct on that?
Yes.
I don't even believe that manufacturing it.
Oh, shit.
Well, they're the labor, but as far as the expertise and the infrastructure, that's all European or American or Chinese.
Exactly. So therefore they're not creating. Let's go back to Bo real quick and then we'll go to City of Truth. Bo, I agree with you. That's not even creating. That's like, you just following the process that some European has given you. How is that something? I mean, that is an opportunity to make money, to make a coin.
I don't even see them doing that.
Wow.
Primarily what you see them doing is signing trade agreements where they allow these multinational companies or whoever to come in and extract the resources, and they export it and they refine it, and so I'm hard pressed to think of an African country that actually refines and exports their own products.
Wow. Out of all those people, that's amazing. City of Truth, what are your thoughts, sir? City of Truth, are you listening? 1, 2, 3, 4. Future Society of Gentlemen, let me ask you this question, then we'll go back to Bo. Let's talk about deflection real quick. If I ask you about Colin Powell, isn't it an insult if I say to you, hey, if you say, Q, do you know about Colin Powell? And I said, man, you lazy. Why don't you do some research? What is that about, man? I just don't.
You sound like you've been running into some bad African experiences lately.
I've been on 4 panels talking with Africans, and it's like they can't answer a straight question, man. And that's
okay.
why
you're running into low class Africans.
Okay.
I think you say they Africans are not Pan Africans. Because I find Pan Africans are the ones that do that the most. The African American brothers that believe they Africans. But when you talk to actual Africans, like they have a more realistic, honest, and intelligent conversation when it comes to these issues. But when you start talking to the Back to Africa, African American dashiki wearing hoteps, they the ones that get into all these.
He's telling the truth about that. Because these are the Africans I have been meeting. Okay, over the past 5
most of the stuff I'm quoting you and that I know about came from like actual Africans that'll sit down and tell you this in frustration.
Okay.
But it's these hoteps, it's the delusional hoteps that can't answer a straight question and like deflecting.
Go ahead, FSG, because I'm about to go into the hotel zone.
I've been meeting Africans from not only Ethiopia, Somalia, the Sudan, Zimbabwe, Chad, Burkina Faso, Benin, Senegal, Côte d'Ivoire. So I've been meeting a different mix of Africans from different regions.
Okay.
I'm getting different perspectives, different educational backgrounds. And it seems like it is a younger group too. It seems like they're very different. I met more anti-African American Africans when I was younger, say more so in the 90s than I do now. I think now because of the spread of the internet and the information age, the younger ones are a little bit more, they're learning how to distinguish say people like us from people with lower class values. Does that make sense?
Ah, yeah, it does make sense. Does make sense. Let's go. City of Truth, are you back with us?
Yeah, I'm back.
Let me ask you this question before I go to Bo. Uh, there are some great African people. Tell me about some of the great African people you've bumped into, City of Truth.
Oh shit. There certainly are. But I would say the best Africans to run into are the ones who are willing to extend a hand to you and who are willing to share information with you about Africa and how you as an African American can actually go to Africa and get your hustle on and actually make money over there and that kind of thing. I think if more Africans were like that, the relationship would be much better between African Americans and Africans instead of them just coming over here and not being aware of the social situation and all the problems and stuff that brings along. So that's what I would say to that.
Let me go to Bo and start talking about the hoteps. Where is the Hotep Credit Union, Bo?
My brother in Wakanda.
Wakanda.
Where's the hotel?
Zamunda Street, right off of Wakanda Avenue.
Where is the Hotep movie theater?
The white man destroyed it, and we can't build anymore. We can't build anymore.
We have had hoteps since the day of Crush Groove.
You don't remember the Tulsa riot? If we build it, the white man gonna burn it.
Yeah, but it's like the hotel.
Do you not remember the 16th Street Baptist Church bombing? If we build it, the white man gonna bomb it.
I just don't understand, Future. Oh, hold on. Let me get Bo real quick. Bo, tell me, what has our Hotep brothers and sisters done other than talk?
Gave everybody a headache.
Because Bo, now I'm starting to see Hotep people really move into this more than one wife zone, which I'm not knocking. I mean, do you? But
those are not true. Those are Hotep. What are those? I don't know what that is.
Hold on. Let Bo answer, man. Go ahead, Bo.
We need to be like, I don't necessarily have a problem with Pan-Africanism, but I'm gonna tell you, the infiltration of Hoteps and these African Americans back to Africa. I don't even call them Pan-Africans. I call them back to Africans. They accomplish nothing. They're just all talk, and if you African American and if you ADOS and grew up in America, you've been hearing this your whole life. Hearing these, you know what I mean? Your grandma done ran them out.
Okay, hold up, Bo. I got a question. So you're not talking about people who, quote unquote, are into black metaphysics. You're talking about these back to Ghana people, these back to Africa people.
Well, I pretty much I use Hotep as a blanket term.
Right.
That encapsulates all of that.
But they dibble and dab. In other words, they're in 10 different subjects, but a master of none. Just a bunch of gibberish.
The pseudo intellectuals that just talk all day, talk about Musa and all this other stuff that's irrelevant, and a lot of them, they at one point they was into the metaphysics and chemics, and then you see them 10 years later, now they talking about they going to Ghana. These people all over the
place. Well, we heard from Future. Let's go to City of Truth. City of Truth. What do you think about what Future and Bo is talking about on the Hoteps?
No, I agree. A lot of them, there are some Hoteps that do good work, but a lot of them just want to sit back and talk. Man, I can't stand that shit because I'm the type of dude, I like to get out there, figure out, what businesses we can start, what capital we can generate, and how we can go over to Africa and build businesses and that kind of thing. And really start making an impact on a global scale. But you can't do that if all you want to do is fantasize about Mansa Musa all day. You know what I mean?
Now, something that's a little bit shocking for everybody. So, right now, my girlfriend is part black and part Norwegian. And then I have my little sexual friends. But I'm really looking at the Sudan. I think I want a tall, dark skin. I feel like this. If I get a good 5-10 years of wife time, that'll be good. If it goes into the 20 years, I'll take it. If not, I had a good run. But I feel like if I'm gonna do this marriage thing, Bo, I'm gonna kind of boutique it. Ain't nothing perfect, But she'll be grateful she over here, and we'll coexist, do some great stuff together. I walk around with my dark skinned wife, and I'll be happy. What are your thoughts, Bo?
Hey man, more power to you. Go for it. I don't really know.
Okay, positive. What about you, FSG?
The way you go in is the way you're gonna come out.
What does that mean, man?
MJG.
One of my favorite rappers, top 4 of all time for me, MJG. City of Truth, what do you think about my plan?
I mean, I'm all for it, man. I think you'll find somebody make you happy.
I'm just tired of the single life, man. It's just wearing me down. All my friends say, "Hey, bruh, you gonna be 50 soon.
Ooh.
You gotta leave that. You've been in the single things for too long. A few more years, I'll be in the 50 club, man. So,
okay. Do all of them have ladies at home? See, that should have been an instant yes.
Yeah. All of my friends have
all of them. Okay.
Yeah, all my friends have. Well, I'm one of the only solo cats. One of the only, and what, women always ask me why I'm not married, and I said, because I actually believe in romance. I believe in love, but I'm from the streets. I'm not going to put myself in a position to be severely played. All women go left, so she'll put on the act. I mean, that's just what's going to happen. I had to figure that out as we go. Go ahead. Somebody was going to say something.
No, I mean, some dudes. I see dudes into the African women now. I mean, that's a good alternative. I dated an African chick back in school. I wasn't really into it like that, but
this is the thing.
I think motto is different though because of the information. So a lot more African chicks, they're a little more nowadays. They're more assimilated into the culture, and they know a little bit more that was going on. But back then, I kind of like had one fresh off the boat and was just a little too green.
I'm gonna back on that because that's true. I think that back in the day, a long time ago, Mr. Research, in a galaxy far, far away, there were Africans that came to the United States back in the late 60s, back in the 70s, back in the who didn't really know shit about America. They literally just got off the damn plane. Okay, they didn't know what was going on. Maybe they were a little child, at the time. Maybe their parents just told them they were going to a land of opportunity, and they didn't know what was going on. But what you got nowadays, though, you got people who are second generation and even third, who they've grown up here. They grew up watching BET. They grew up watching MTV. Okay, they grew up watching American Idol and all that stuff, and Beyonce, watching Beyonce and all that. So they're a little bit more, they're versed in the culture, okay, but they still adhere to their own culture. But they're still versed in the culture. But the bad part is some of them try to hide and pretend like they're ADOS when they're really not. And that in and of itself causes a lot of problems.
Well, let me ask this. Let me go to Future Society, gentlemen. What about all these new feminine channels popping up where women have realized, you know what, these other girls are leading us astray? We ain't going to get nobody like that talking that anti-male stuff. What are your thoughts, FSG, on these feminine channels popping up everywhere?
You talking about feminine channels in general or black feminine channels?
Black feminine channels saying, hey, look, you know, so and so over here is wrong. She's tripping. You ain't gonna get no man.
I mean, of course, the white women had to get it started first. They started realizing that especially when they started realizing that, hey, in order for us to get this promotion and this pay, we got to go to these meetings with these men at the end of the day.
Very true, very true, very true. I really like Roe. Shout out to Richard Dixon. You're absolutely right, man. I really like Roe. Taylor, would you like to come up, Taylor? It's a safe space, Taylor. We were going to welcome Wacky. Hold on one second. Going to get to you. Bo, what do you feel about these feminine channels for black women that have popped up? I mean, it's a bunch of women saying, hey, forget those Manosphere 2.0, 3.0 dudes. There's some decent dudes out here. Y'all better go get one. What do you think, Bo?
Hey, man, common sense. You know what I think it is really, though? A lot of women sat back. A lot of women non-confrontational when it come to other women. So they'll sit back and listen to a woman say something that they just know is just flat out wrong, but just for the sake of not, they'll just be like, whatever, just let her talk. But she going home to her man, and you know, so I think it's coming to a point now when you got these women that's coming out now who they have men, and it's like they just tired of hearing the other women speak now. So it's like, man, let me just add in my little 2 cents, because you listening to this chick that ain't got no man, and you not gonna never get a man following behind her. I think it's kind of like that dynamic going on right now.
So a different question for you, City of Truth. You got channels like She Raven trying to tell how to finesse a dude, and you got all these channels, City of Truth, but now the pick-me's are striking back, City of Truth. They like, bump that. Pick me is what's up. Matter of fact, pick-me's are a turn on for me. I love pick-me's. But go ahead, City of Truth, and then we'll go to Wacky after you.
Yeah, I guess the boss bitch, the conniving bitch, you know, that's going on style. And the pick-me is coming back in style. But you know what's the catalyst for all this? Guess what? Corona just put 140,000 women out of work. Okay. So and even more women are that's just that's just last month. Okay, but that's not even counting the other millions of women who are out of work. Okay, Corona has been the great humbling of the modern women. Okay, and you know the pick-me's coming up out of nowhere is not by accident. You remember in the early 2000s, Mr. Research, when they was making all them songs talking about Beyonce was talking about all the women who are independent. You remember that? And it was talking about I don't want no scrub and all that. Well, you notice they're making songs like that anymore?
Well, but they done moved it to Megan Thee Stallion now, so
when's the last time? Yeah, but those types of that Megan Thee Stallion, that's lesbian. That's just lesbian. I'm talking about the straight women telling the dudes how independent they are and they don't need them and stuff. Now you notice that's gone to the wayside in favor of the pick-me.
Hold on for a second. So Wacky, pick-me's are my favorite thing now, Wacky. I love pick-me's, man. I marry a pick-me. Pick-me is fighting against the anti-male speakers. What do you think, Wacky?
A lot of them are some good actors. They need a good Oscar award. Let me tell y'all something. This is the position of the so-called pick-me's right now. It's the fourth quarter. It's 30 seconds left in the whole game. Their team is down by 35 points, and that's when they want to play the game.
Wait a minute, down by 35.
They down by 35 within the last 30 seconds of the game. It's too late. The other team are already talking about moving on to the next game. They already the starting five in the second string. They already sit in the bench. They say, okay, they concentrate on the next game. The damn fourth string's on the court. It's too late.
Wait. Until Reggie Miller gets on and accidentally busts 20 points back to back.
Right.
Now they want to get back on the floor.
Right. Right. Like the so-called pick-me's are seeing, a lot of men just moving on and moving forward to other things. So now they realize, damn, I have a hard time getting a man.
Right.
I have a hard time keeping a man. Damn. If we as females do this thing, hold on, okay, let me be real quick. They're saying if we as female, I'm sorry, Mr. Researcher.
No, it's cool.
What they're saying, what they're thinking, their mindset is that if we as women don't get our things together, man, it's going to be a long time till we see true happiness.
True.
So, but the thing is that they finally come to that realization when it's too late. They are a day late and $1 short.
Let me ask you these two questions that the brothers answered. Bo, I'm gonna get to you. Wacky, name something Africans have created that's in Africa.
Name something Africans have created that's in Africa. Well, I'll say the pyramids of Egypt.
Oh, okay.
I'll say that. I'll say, what will I say? There are different types of technologies that amateur students have created, but
that's a process. That's a process, not a product.
Now, okay, outside of that, what have they created aside from civil wars and political corruptions? I have no idea.
So we did get some good ones. There was the Ethiopia Airlines. And one guy created a engineering university, except I can't really call it a university. It's really a trade school because you can't be a doctor there. You just got to take what they offer. But what I found amazing, Wacky, here's the second part of my question, and then we're going to go to you, Bo, and then back to FSG. The amazing thing I found out, though, Wacky, is that out of the eons they've been there, they ain't really controlled nothing. The natural resources is there, but they keep trading it away for coins.
Yeah, Wacky. Yeah. No, that is true. For how many years? Most of the continent has been colonized.
Centuries.
For centuries. Most of the continent have been colonized, and whenever you have a certain groups of revolutionaries in these certain countries who try to fight off these colonizers so they could stay independent, the sellouts would team up with the colonizers to destroy these revolutionaries. Anybody heard of the Mau Mau's in Kenya? No? Yeah. So
I was reading up on the Mosai where the one guy killed his best friend because the best friend didn't want to do business with the West no more. I'm like, what? Right. It's some crazy stuff, man. Let me move over to Bo real quick. Let me change it over.
Can I say one thing? Hold on. Can I say one thing? There are a lot of STEM startup companies that Africans have created in Africa. I can't name them. I can't get into specifics because I done forgot a lot of them. But I do know that there's a list of startup tech companies that Africans have started up in Africa. So
well, the only problem with that though is that number one, STEM is a certificate. STEM is a type of degree.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry.
And then the other thing is tech is a process. It's a skill set. It's not really like toothpaste or toothbrush. It ain't nothing you can hold it.
It's not an innovative thing. No.
It's not nothing you can. It's not nothing you can hold in your hand.
Right. Okay.
Not just that, but it's somewhat of it's an individual achievement.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but it is a creation. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is a creation, but
it's not like tangible things, you know.
Yeah, it's not tangible. I mean, if I use that, then an African person created this internet. But the problem is his children don't own the patent because he was working for IBM. So he was just a temp worker. So he got his contract money, and yeah, he created it, but his children don't benefit from it. Africa don't benefit from it. IBM took it. So I don't know, yeah, people create stuff. I mean, who do we think of when we talk about creating the light bulb? We think about Graham Bell, but Graham Bell, his invention only lasts for 30 seconds because he used paper and copper. The black Ethiopian guy created what we have today, but he don't get credited for the creation. He get credited for the improvement. Does anybody disagree? Anybody on the panel disagree?
I think the thing with tech companies and those startups.
I don't disagree. And in fact, I'll add to it.
Hold on. Bo was speaking, then I'm gonna come to you. Go ahead, Bo.
The thing with the startup companies that they're somewhat individual achievements. So once you make a certain amount of progress, you have these big venture capital funds or whatever that come out and buy it out. So I mean, at the end of the day, are they like you say, benefiting the continent in itself?
Well, you got to be willing to sell. If you're not willing to sell, you can sit on it. I mean,
exactly.
Zuckerberg got offered stuff.
What I'm saying is they are selling them. So the innovations or whatever that's coming out of Africa, who's owning it, who's benefiting from it? I don't know. I really don't know as far as the tech startup companies that I can't think of any unicorns that came out of Africa. Any tech unicorn company that came out of Africa that got $1 billion valuation.
Well, I know
there isn't. I just can't think of any.
No, I know there is one guy. He did get $1 billion off of his creation. He's from Africa, but I haven't seen what he's done in the past 12 years with that $1 billion. I don't hear his name. His name. I'll look it up while FSG talks. FSG, go ahead, and then I got a new question I got to run through everybody. Go ahead, FSG.
Right. A black man who worked for IBM invented the personal computer. Went to the University of Tennessee. A black man invented the processors that created the mobile cell phone. He went to Tennessee State. A black man invented the refrigeration unit that goes in the back of all these trucks. Thermo King. That was his invention. But yet not one person's family benefits from it at all.
Right. That's what I'm about to say. Nobody's family benefits from it. It's a process that they sold off. So what the white man tends to do, and I put the African guy who got $1 billion, I put him in the chat room. But what people tend to forget is, man, all you got to do is survive 5 to 7 years, and then whatever. It's the Master P complex. That's why Master P is at 750 million now, because he never really sold the masters. So regardless of what you think about Shanana, it's going to play somewhere. No matter what you think about Mr. Servon, that's why Pete, I personally know, because I knew DJ Daryl out here in Oakland, he did keep your head up for Tupac. He did some Master P stuff. Master P would overpay you. Like, let's say the project was 20 or 50,000. P gonna pay you 30, 40,000 or 70,000 just so you don't come back because it ain't yours. Let's move to this next question. We're gonna go with a City of Truth.
I highly doubt though P is worth 750 million.
Why? Why? Why do you doubt that?
He's on the verge of trying to buy Reebok.
I don't.
That's not cheap.
Yeah, I don't know why you would doubt that. Here's how I'll tell you it happened. Remember, number one, Percy was the only person during the time when we was kids who owned a piece of the Charlotte Hornets while he was the third worst player on the team. You forgot about that.
Owning a piece is nothing.
Okay, but what I'm saying is during that time he was already set up in that type of stratosphere. And so when his son got hooked up with Disney, that's where it came from. I think when his son got hooked up with Disney, I think that's when all that money came in. But that's, let's call him 400 million. Nevertheless, he
do a lot of capping, man. P do a lot of capping. I doubt P got what to do.
You know what? My homeboy from New Orleans, he say the same thing. So, I hear you. Let's get to this next thing. We're gonna switch it up a little bit about the fellas. We're gonna start with City of Truth. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit faster. Here's the thing I don't understand about American guys, American black guys, City of Truth. Why haven't you moved to Alaska by now? Why haven't you moved to Montana right now? Why are you just hanging out, just so obsessed with your anger for women not cooperating? Educate me, City of Truth. City of Truth. City of Truth. City of Truth. You muted. City of Truth. Okay, so let's move it on. Wacky. Well, I know what you're gonna say. Hold on. FSG. why FSG is dudes just move to Alaska. They got a bunch of Asian Alaskan girls. Skinny, chubby, they all looking for dudes. Why not just move to Alaska, FSG, at this point?
Because all of the lame ass dudes I keep attaching myself to make coochie the center of my existence. That is my primary driver for even wanting to have a good career. It's access to coochie.
I tell you, fellas, man, if I could show y'all some of the pictures, I tried to put that video up, me talking to the girls, and she said she wanted to serve my BBC. YouTube got mad and pulled that. So it's like, I'm just at this point, like, I know there's dudes more good looking than I am with more money than me. How am I doing it? And there's 20% of dudes. I know it's not the 80%, but there's 20% of dudes, Bo, is pissed off. I just don't get it, Bo.
Alaska. I know I won't go to no Alaska about no pussy. That's not gonna happen. I might go up there about some money. I know some dudes went up there and made some good money working in them oil fields and stuff like that. A couple dudes work construction, going up there getting paid good money. But about a chick, nah, that's not even on the.
That's not even on the map, huh?
No.
City of Truth, are you back yet? City of Truth? Okay, here he comes. Wacky, original OG. What's going on, man? Why don't they just move to Montana, Wisconsin, Kentucky? It's only $1,000. What's going on, Wacky?
Man, they pussy whip. That's it. They pussy whip. Listen, pussy is the new slave master to these dudes, man. Pussy got the whip. Yes, master. Yes, master pussy. I do everything you tell me. I give you all my money. I give you all my integrity.
Oh,
you know, I sell my own soul for you, pussy, master pussy. Come on. Yeah.
Wow. Look, that's so honest though. Look, but I was amazed because I'm an old school dude. The fact that so many dudes talk to me about Mr. Research, you would trick. And then later, a couple of years later, I found out how many dudes are paying Instagram chicks that they never touch. I'm like,
They paying chicks they meeting on the street.
Yo.
That's the new dating game for these young dudes. These chicks getting straight to the point. You want to go to see Wonder Woman 1984? Hey, just make sure you pay my phone bill.
wow.
I need $20.
Wow.
No, these young chicks getting straight to the money for time.
Wow.
I feel sorry for these young dudes now.
That's a
Oh
whole
yeah, they're
nother
getting
level.
straight. They're getting straight to. I mean, no chase. They're getting straight to the money for time.
Damn.
So I got a question here. Miss Taylor says, I've been talking to someone for 2 weeks, and he says these talking about is false. I don't know what type of dude you've been talking to, because most of the femininity channels are right. I think it depends on what class of dude you are, because when you start dealing with a lot of BS, your mentality go into another stratosphere. Panel, am I wrong? What's going on?
Oh, well, maybe. I mean, I'm assuming that the person she's speaking to, that person probably sees some of them wearing a facade. You know, so he's probably seen some of them, not all of them, but some of them, just teaching this fake femininity nonsense and using that as a disguise to make themselves, to get attention and get subscribers and get a little money from these dudes in the space. But as far as I can't make that distinction with all the so-called pygmies, So as far as the ones who are genuine, I don't believe that's the case. I think he's speaking about the ones who are disingenuous.
Anybody else?
I think you two speaking to two different things when you talk about femininity channels. I don't think what you're talking about is what she considers femininity channels.
Oh, okay. Hey, yeah, that makes sense. Shout out to Mr. Richard Dixon. I'll say the same thing I said earlier, Mr. Richard. Programming is a process. It's not nothing you can hold in your hands. So yeah, there are some brilliant Nigerian people working for white folks, but I don't think working for white folks is a powerful thing to be happy about. Just because you're a programmer does not mean that you're controlling anything at the company. So
where is the Nigerian Google?
Oh, please don't talk to me about that.
They can have it. They can have that by next week.
You know what? That is a great question. Let's go into that. City of Truth, where is the African Google? City of Truth, where's the African Facebook? Bo, where's the African Facebook, man? Oh, Bo, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Bo, where's the African Google? Okay, Bo's doing something. Wacky, where's the African Facebook, sir? Is it everybody?
Yeah. Okay, to answer the question, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't.
Well, you got all these people who are programmers. Richard Dixon just said it. All these people who are programmers, all these people in tech. Where's the competition for the white man?
Good question. I wish I could. I wish I have an answer, but I don't.
See, when you go to the website, you turn it on and it says, "Oh, the white man, the white man, the white man." Yeah, the white man, the white man. Get away from me, you darn African American. Yes, Mr. Whiteman. Future society, educate us. You brought up the topic, man. Whoa. Richard said digital goods is tangible. Come on, you doing that Zillennial thing now, like Richard, come on. Digital is not tangible, man. That's like saying there's actual Bitcoin billionaires right now. No, sir. You got to hold it in your hands at some point in time. Future society, gentlemen, educate us. We're going to start closing out, but educate us, sir.
Well, I mean, the thing is, what are we exactly? There's no point of having the skills or the talent if we're not going to be building our own infrastructure and things that we own and control.
Don't tell
otherwise,
me. Tell Richard Dixon. Tell Richard Dixon.
Right. Otherwise, there's no point in complaining about white supremacy and racism. On top of that, once again, they're sitting on the richest natural resources on Earth, and it's been there for millions of years. They don't have to borrow anything from anybody.
Hold on for a minute. I'm going to tell you what Richard said. Richard said they just don't get covered. You have to search for them.
Why not take that same money you're getting from the British, say, you know what, fuck you, British. We're not going to pay back some of the money you loan me that I have sitting in your reserves, and build their own data centers.
Hey, I hear you. Back
all
to
it
you.
Is a vision.
What was the question?
But you know what? This is what I say.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to get too deep into this, but the thing is, it's really, some things is not for certain people. And that's what we got to understand.
Wow, yeah,
the African people were the first people on Earth. Yeah. So therefore, inventing things, products, and capitalism, and owning and franchise, and licensing, that's not their thing. The world has moved on from being the natural world. It's more of an artificial place now. And so we got captured on the ship and sent over here. And now we know the game. Yeah. So why not we get together? Yeah. And go over there. Yeah. And we don't. And I'm not. This is not a back to Africa thing. No. I'm just simply saying, why are we playing the same game the European is playing? He's not even really over there like that anymore. Yet he's exploiting every resource over there. Israel is exploiting every single diamond and gem mine over there. Yeah. Wacky, go ahead. You got something that you pulled up? Wacky?
Hello?
You got something you pulled up?
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah,
I can hear you.
Okay. I quickly did a Google search on because you asked a very interesting question. Where's the African version of Google? So I did a quick Google search and I put African search engines, and this is what showed a list of local African search engines where you could look up, I guess, different websites within these certain African countries.
Oh, that's great. I stand corrected again. Always good to learn something. Yeah. I like when I get it.
I never knew this neither. So I'm studying my own damn self. You know what I'm saying?
That's not Google, though.
So how can we use our expertise of this system to make these search engines an African Google?
Well, first thing you're going to have to do is get a celebrity. You got to do it's the whole FUBU thing. I got the solution all day. It's the whole FUBU thing.
Who we
You
gonna
have
get? Jaimin Hansu, Chibitel. Who we gonna get?
no. You gonna have to get any notable celebrity that's willing to say the brand every chance he gets on the microphone. So you hire somebody like a Sam. You hire somebody like a white chick who's from South Africa. You hire somebody like somebody of notoriety, and every time they get on the mic, they got to say the name of the brand. That's how you
An
do it.
African man, I believe, is in the top 10 richest men in the world, and I think it's based off of a cell phone company.
Could be. Well, let's get into our final thing because my girl called and I got to call that chick back.
Let me speak to that.
Go ahead.
Because that's kind of like, I'm not gonna say it's unfair, but you know, when you start looking at Africa, don't the to create these companies that you see in America, Africa isn't allocating the capital, aren't supporting those engineers in order to create those type of things. So if you take a company like Google, that was created by Stanford PhD students with limitless resources in order to bring that to light. And then America has the capital, venture funds, in order to finance those projects. Africa, those African engineers you see over there in Africa, they don't have access to that capital in Africa in order to bring their ideas to fruition. And then in a lot of these African countries, you take Nigeria for example. I mean, they let alone don't even have a reliable power source. So I mean, you can't expect the next Google to come out of a country that don't even have 24-hour electricity, you know. So it's a lot of limitations on them over there, which is why they almost at a certain point they gotta come to America, you know, or maybe Israel. They have to go to Israel. Israel allocates a lot of capital towards venture, towards funding a lot of startups too. People don't talk about that, but you know, it's
that is a very fair point. That is a very fair point.
Because look at Russia. Russia has the most talent in the world, but they're not really even producing those. They produce more companies, but a lot of their talent ended up leaving too because the resources is there.
That's a very valid point. Anybody else?
Well, ultimately, I just want to make my closing statements.
Hold on. Before you do closing statement, so the second question is, Broke Genius says he stopped chasing vagina, and now his vagina chases him at 200% now. Wacky, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, the thing is okay. Well, that's good because obviously when he stopped chasing vagina, that means he prioritized more important things in his life, and and then he ended up seeing the results, and these females see the results, so they chasing after him. But my thing is that there's nothing wrong pursuing females, but you have to pursue quality. Pursue quality females or quality women. Don't pursue the vagina, pursue the quality, because I mean the vagina is what's going to get you in a lot of damn trouble. But the quality, once you find it, which is hard to find, you're gonna have peace. You're gonna have true happiness, you know, or it's going to add on to your peace and happiness. Sorry, but so I have to say about that. I hope I answered the question. Right?
Future society.
Don't chase the Burger King chick that worked the first window at the Burger King. Get the manager at Chick-fil-A.
Ooh, say that again. Say that again one more time for the people.
Do not holler at Bum Quisha at the first window of Burger King.